Welcome to the Triple Barrel Podcast.
So what's this question you want to
Do you, like, I'm not saying that, like, being able to be consistent in comedy makes you not lazy. But, like, do you find it hard to get along with, especially girls that you date, when they just don't have anything that they're going towards or going after?
Yes, absolutely. If there's not, I mean, I have goals that I have, much like you've got your goals. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like to see that in another person. Like, I love it whenever the person I'm dating has, like, things they want to accomplish in life that don't have a thing to do with me.
Right.
And Haley, my girlfriend, she is insanely, like, productive with what she does. I mean,
do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Their production is high.
Yeah, she, like, her podcast that doesn't have anything to do with me. Every now and again, I'll be like, oh, maybe you could do a topic like this. But, you know, sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't do it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what she's done and got, like, Best of Memphis podcast before, like, the podcast is a year old.
Wait, shout out. What's the podcast?
Night Classy.
Night Classy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I gotta check it out.
The production value on theirs is really good. Like, they got video, they got everything.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think that they will want us to be a guest on their podcast?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
I appreciated it to her yesterday that we could do like a swapsies, right? Have them on as guests.
What do they do? Like what's their
They're like
So,
teachers, right?
Yeah, their whole thing on their podcast is they come in, they, like, drink, and then they teach each other a subject that the other one doesn't know about.
Oh, so it's like wow. Okay, wow, that was popping out. It was so it's like self-taught drunk history kind of.
Yeah, it's a lot like Drunk History a little bit, except, you know, the host talks too. Like, imagine Drunk History but with two 20-something women, and one tells a story and then the other one tells a story. Okay. Like, they swap.
Yeah.
And
I like that idea.
Swap.
Yeah, swap. The white word swap. And yeah, that's what they do, and it's real. They have a lot of just hardcore fans. Their Patreon and stuff, they're making $700 a month.
Holy
right now
shit!
Through Patreon, and they have, like, merch. Like, it's
if these guys can do it, we can do it, guys.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
It's definitely doable, man.
And
That's a utility bill for each of us.
yeah.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
That's fucking
I'm
rent,
glad.
man.
I'm glad they're winning, right? But this is a constant, like.
We talk about this often.
And they have sponsorships. Like, two different companies reached out to them and were like, "Hey, we heard your podcast. We want to do something with you." High Point Grocery reached out to them, gives them like $1,000-something dollars.
Hell yeah! Fuck yeah!
I forget, like, every few months.
$1,000-something coupons?
No,
what, my nigga?
$1,000-something every, like, 3 or 4 months to promote them, and they give them wine every week. Like, they go to High Point. High Point goes, like, here's your box of wine. Talk about us.
Dude, that is... They secured their fucking alcohol for the week. Like,
for the month, my
Absolutely.
G.
For the month.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
like,
still stacking up.
I go over the... This is both of their first podcasts.
Oh, my God.
They're 22, 23. They started this podcast. Next thing you know, all this stuff is just coming towards them. And then I'm hearing them talk about this, and I'm like, that's amazing. That's incredible. And they're like, I don't know. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, you don't even.
Yeah.
You're the fucking dream.
To them, it's like, they just kind of, like, woke up, said, let's do a podcast.
And then it worked.
It worked. They get Best of Memphis second. They got second place, by the way. First place was another thing, but just to be transparent, they did get second place. But still, they got second place. They got sponsorships. I mean, the amount like
They are the
legwork-
penultimate podcast.
I mean, yeah, they do a lot of legwork too. Like Haley is on TikTok making videos about their subjects. So Haley would be like, if her subject was like aliens or something, aliens in Scotland, she'll be like, did you know in Scotland, blah, 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 blah. She'll do the little, like, you know, they talk fast on TikTok. They just do that. And then at the end, she's like, and you can hear more about this on our podcast, Night Classy, you know, at the very end. And then Kat, the other co-host, she like messages a bunch of people for sponsorship stuff. And they'll get other sponsorships, then they message other podcasts to like cross promote and stuff. So they're all doing a bunch of work. And then their producer, Alec, he's a freaking workaholic. He stays over there working like, you know, until like sometimes like 7 p.m. He's just editing little snippets here. I mean, he's like, if he didn't have a podcast, he'd probably be like addicted to some sort of drug or something like that. Like that's how much he's constantly thinking. He's got ADD, and he's like really smart, also really funny. I've listened to their podcast quite a bit, and it's definitely made for like the early 20-something woman. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
it's them. That's them. Right?
Yeah. They know who they want. Like if any of us were to listen to it, we would be like, okay, this is interesting. And then there'd be like 10 minutes of them talking about something that's not the subject. And you're like, I wonder if they're going to
get back to it. Aliens in Scotland.
Yeah.
Right?
And then they do. And then you're like, okay. And then in like another little dissertation on something else.
Bro, girl power is out of control now.
But
dude.
that's exactly, while that's not how like our brains work, that's exactly how the 20-something woman's brain works. So they are just flowing in that space like right now.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if that's just a Gen Z thing. You know, I heard an article here recently actually that was saying that apparently 1 in 6 of Gen Zers actually like affiliate themselves as like non-gender or whatever.
Right.
So like I wonder if that whole like that vibe or whatever is just like them flowing in and out of whatever topic is just like a Gen Z thing, you know?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it could possibly be. They're hitting that right now. They have the potential to be like so huge.
Yeah.
And I really hope they get there, just because that would be amazing.
We could learn a lot from them young ladies, man.
I'm about to follow them. What are they? Night Classy?
Night Classy. Yeah.
I voted for them for Best of Memphis. I did.
I didn't know that they were doing that.
Look, before we get too deep into anything else,
introduce the guest.
Yeah, we got to introduce our motherfucking guest. It's the Triple Barrel Podcast episode. What the fuck ever. You know what I'm saying? Our guest is my illustrious friend in the stand-up comedy game, Tommy Oler, y'all.
Hello.
Give it up for Tommy. Blam, blam.
Tommy Oler.
Bam, 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 bam.
It's me.
Bam, bam, bam.
The guy's been talking for the first 10 minutes.
It's whatever, right? Tommy.
Our vibe is it's a whatever thing.
Yeah, it's whatever, bro. Tommy and I met in college. Well, I was in college. He had graduated from college. What would you say? What year was it? 2010.
I graduated 2010.
So I probably met you 2011.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
2011. All right. So,
have we known each other 10 years?
Holy fuck.
bro.
The decade.
Yeah. Because
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, because check this out. When you moved to Memphis to do the phone thing, right, I would see you on Christmas breaks.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd come home, stay with my mom.
And then every now and again, I'd come back and perform at your places.
Yeah.
Like, because you had like multiple rooms over the years.
I sure
that you were
did,
hosting.
bro. I sure did. Stayed working, my guy. There are people who are quote unquote kind of famous that I've put in my rooms in Knoxville.
Hey, John murdered it last night.
I sure fucking did.
He had a good solid like 7-8 minutes, like fucking killer.
It was 10, bro.
10? Well, I didn't catch all of it.
7 or 8 was solid.
Where'd you guys go last night?
I was
Joint.
hosting at the Comedy Joint for
Joint? Okay.
Craig Henderson.
Craig Henderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Local comic.
And Atlanta people.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple chicks from Atlanta that came up.
Yeah, we got to go to Atlanta now.
Kimmy T and Kelly Davis.
Have you done comedy in Atlanta?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah. Knoxville is way closer to Atlanta than you would
yeah.
imagine, so.
Have you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was,
You've done it pretty much everywhere, though.
Here and there. Not everywhere, but a lot of places,
Yeah.
What's the furthest you told jokes, Tommy? Like from your home state, Tennessee, what's the furthest you've been?
Gosh, I don't know. Like maybe from Memphis, maybe New York's the farthest.
New York City?
But that's just
Okay.
an open mic, and that was like 2 minutes.
You been to Cali?
No, I have not.
Nor have I. I've only been to Seattle. I went to the Seattle Underground. That was pretty fun. But people up there are pretty nice, but they're like have a weird energy. You know,
Yeah.
how, like in the South, we want manners, right? Well, manners are seen as like a mental disorder up there. So you just gotta kind of, because like if you're being nice for no apparent reason, then you're just being nice.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, you must have ADD or you are some special person.
It's
Right.
interesting. In Philadelphia, it's like, what do you want from me? You know?
Right. That's how it is in New York. Right. So it's like they're cool. You just got to be real direct. Like, hey, I want the salmon. You say please. You're like, you trying to fuck me, bro?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm
Shut
just
up.
gonna have the salmon.
Yeah, I performed in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska.
What the fuck's in Nebraska?
It's really flat. But I met a lot of cool people there performing, and this was after the
You're slinging dick in Nebraska?
I tried.
I wonder what Nebraska pussy's like.
It's probably really healthy, all that milk.
I don't know if it's healthy. It could be
no.
genetically modified because all that corn.
Genetically modified. pussy,
The
GMO poop.
the ladies were thick, healthy, strong.
Yeah, I'm sure. Farm
strong young ladies.
Yeah, they were strong. Like
hefty.
I thought we're like breaking down the
like, you
cross section of
wouldn't-
Nebraska women. Like,
Yeah, you wouldn't call them thighs. You'd call them haunches. Like these were good.
They got some trunks. They got
ladies.
hams.
Yeah, like
These hoes got hams.
that's good meat.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, they were really cool. I performed there and at this show. Like the place was big. It was
Like a barn.
in Nebraska, very well might have been, right?
it was like right in the heart of Lincoln, like Lincoln downtown.
Oh, Lincoln's a city for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny. My sister lives out in L.A., and every time she describes Tennessee to anyone, they always imagine it as like a bunch of farms and shit like that. And that's exactly how I imagine Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm just like, oh yeah, it's like 4 farms and like a couple people, right?
Yeah. But this place was packed. It was really high. Like
Ceilings?
the ceilings were really high, and the place was really long. And I just remember looking out at the crowd, who clearly none of them had anything else to do on this Friday night, because they were all there, all attentive, all ready to
comedy.
listen. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, comedy. I think this place was like
Was it free or did they pay?
they paid. I got paid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I went over there, did my thing. I had a great set. I talked about the Nebraska football team. They had just lost horribly.
Yeah.
And
And I bet they all cared. Bro, people from
Oh,
Nebraska.
yeah.
Yeah, they have no professional football team.
I was gonna say, yeah, that had to be a college team.
Yeah, it was the Nebraska Cornhuskers. I don't know if that's actually the
Does Nebraska have a professional anything?
No.
Like, do
I don't
they have,
know.
like,
They had no industry either.
Really?
No, I'm fucking with you. I don't know.
like, I'm trying to think of like a Nebraska hockey team. There's nothing Nebraska.
Hey, look up Nebraska industry, Jackson. What's in Nebraska? Continue with your story.
Yeah, it's corn. It's agriculture.
I went there, performed, and being from UT, like I remember us losing to Nebraska in the national championship game in like 1997 or something.
Yeah.
And I brought that up, and that raised their spirits and got them back on my side after I just trashed them for losing the night before. And then was like, yeah, you guys beat me. And like, yeah. And I was like, all right, go tell my jokes now. Let's get back here.
Hell yeah, dog.
It was a lot of fun. Met some cool people too. Great.
Do you think about comedy a lot when you get up on the stage like that? Is it almost like a balancing act where you kind of like lean in one way and you feel like you got to kind of like tilt the crowd in another direction?
Oh man, there's a lot going on.
It's a lot of intangibles you're fucking
Yeah,
with.
there's a lot. Like your question is so insanely open ended, but you go up there and it kind of there's so many things it can depend on, but if you have enough confidence that you can get them on your side with what you're about to say, then many times if it's good enough, they'll follow you no matter what. They may not even they may not laugh, but
They might just listen.
They might agree, and they might not laugh, but you've got them for this moment. And then if they don't laugh at what you're saying because for whatever reason, then as long as you've got them, then you've still got another chance with your next joke or whatever.
So really, as long as you maintain their attention more than their laughing reflex,
Yeah, you want them to laugh at what you're saying.
Obviously, yeah.
Like ideally you would be just killing up there.
Right.
But if you're up there and if your joke goes like flat, you get like a couple of chuckles, but they're all looking at you, that means you still have a hold of them.
Right.
If you're up there and you're talking and you pause for whatever, like, that laugh moment, and then all you hear is a bunch of like people talking, then you've practically lost. And now's the time for you to like do what you were talking about, lean in, work,
break the glass in case of fire type shit. Like you gotta have.
Yeah, now you gotta change things up.
What's that ripcord for you, John? Like if you have to break the glass, is it like a certain joke you go to? Is it like a certain like routine that you do or something like that?
Man, like if you've lost the crowd's attention, like their base attention at this point in time in the game,
kill yourself.
Yeah, like you've done something horribly wrong, and so you have to. For me, it's either you use some sort of shock element, right? Like I might yell at the crowd, right? Like legitimately in anger, like
repossess attention. Okay,
right?
I get it.
Do the grade school shit and just talk real quiet, and they don't want to listen.
And start looking around. What happened to the voice? Like
right. But because like if they're not paying if they're not paying you any attention, then that's worse than you being heckled or a distraction happening, and you can address that. That's like
right.
You're dealing with the worst type of scenario.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools that you can use to try to get them back. Like I remember whenever you were hosting Bell Tower Artisans.
Oh yeah,
and
artisans.
Yeah, you called it artisans.
Did they force you to say that or something? Like
no, I was saying it wrong.
No, I'm done. You have to say artisans. It's the wrong thing.
I remember going up there and having a night that wasn't going very well, and yeah, that's where I first met you, actually, Jackson. Yeah. I remember having a night that wasn't going very well, and looking out and seeing people in the back, like behind the cash register, working and talking, and I immediately just started talking about them, and that got everything back on my side, because people, like, sometimes it's not your fault. Like there might be, like, a coffee house that also lets people make clay stuff, you know?
Right.
Stupid idea.
And so they're
still there.
They're making money is stupid, though.
Right. They're literally using their espresso machine going, making all these noises.
And you're trying to set up a joke.
And then some people,
the blenders at Bell Tower Artisans were like, God damn it, the blender.
There's blenders and there's people over there chatting about pottery.
Right.
And then you've got all these people there for the comedy show just turning their heads and looking at all the noises that are drowning out your amplified voice. So
essentially diverting the attention away from you.
Yeah, so if you catch that, that's another thing you can do. Like if you see what people are looking at, like you can just be like, okay, what are they looking at? And then you bring that up.
Okay.
And the only thing you have to have is just the confidence in your abilities to eventually turn that funny. Because sometimes people will call out whatever's happening over there and not be able to make anything of that.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you do specifically, like Jackson? If you feel like you're losing the crowd or anything,
but Dylan, that's the point of what Tommy's saying. That it's open ended, right? It's like
that's what I'm. It sounds like you guys do different things, though.
Well, John's just saying a few of the things that everybody would do. Like some people, like either like me, I usually. I don't want to say I cower, but I definitely like at Bell Tower Artisans. Like that was before I really even knew if I was going to continue to do comedy, you know? So when I'm bombing there, it's like, oh, I shouldn't do this shit, you know?
Right.
And, but like, I don't know. It's just whatever you think is right in the moment. Yeah. Like, I mean, you could, it doesn't. I don't know.
I'll never forget. There was actually a time I think I saw Tommy actually out at it was like some workshop that you guys were doing or something down at like I think it's some brewery downtown or something. And there was these two. It might have been one of those. I know there was these two just super drunk just. I mean, they looked like they had just gotten thrown out of like a Thursday night club. They were pissed off, and they were just going in on you, just like out of everything that you would say. And finally, like I think you ignored them for like 2 or 3 of them or something like that. But then you went in on them, and it was so funny because like it's not like you were just talking shit about them. You were talking shit about them talking shit about the show. You know, so it's like the way that they were diverting the attention is exactly like you were saying. You were taking the attention away from like explicitly being placed on you into now, okay, this is the entire show that is being like taken over by these two people. And you flip that on its head. And that was something that it's interesting because like, you know, John will like, you know, make a loud noise to redirect attention.
John just gets mad. John just gets mad
yell at them,
and yells.
Yeah. But
it
works.
makes it cringy.
It works. So.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could remember what you're talking about because honestly, that happens so much.
Yeah, because
you know?
so many people just talk.
People think they're helping more than they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like they just blurt things retardedly.
I mean, I don't mind people talking a little bit. Like if I'm stupid enough to ask a question on stage, and like how many of y'all smoke backwoods?
Right, you wait.
You know,
response,
and I'm
right,
and I'm just thinking, and I'm just like, you know, if you say something like that, or like or something that if you introduce any response, any like legitimate time to respond, then you did it to yourself.
Yeah, if you ask, like I have a number of things where I will ask a question like he said, but I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I know what will happen. I'm prepared for whatever is going to happen.
Right.
Because there's a response that you can say that no matter what they say, yes or no, will get a laugh. The worst thing that could, you know, happen would be if you have to ask the question again, you know?
Right.
And sometimes you can turn that into a joke in itself. Like you can make fun of this person for not
like, what are you, deaf?
Listening. Yeah, you can do something like that. But yeah, if you're, because I agree 100% with Jackson. Like if you're in a talkative room and you invite that upon yourself, then you have to be ready for it. You have to like have something you're going to say afterwards. You have to have already prepared something if you're going to do that. Otherwise, don't ask those questions. Just go up there and like use the power of this mic and get rid of them, destroy them in some way.
I like to think about, like, I guess, I don't know, as a third party or whatever, looking at comedians, is like the comedians are almost having a conversation with the audience, but that's not what it is, like from what you guys are saying, right?
No, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
We're manipulating you into believing this is a two-way street,
right,
when
but
really
it's not.
it's all us.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. That's cool as fuck.
That's
man.
part of the magic, my G.
Yeah.
That's why we paid the big bucks. That's why we get the lot of
Obviously.
money.
We're sitting on a $85 couch right now.
Yeah. There's no cum on the
I
couch.
thought it was $35.
This couch was free.
I thought it was a $35 couch. Did y'all what's on the board over there? The vaccine? Y'all boys gonna get it?
You guys gonna get that Johnson & Johnson one? The one shot and done?
The one dose? You can get the one dose?
I want the one dose. I don't want to have to go back. You know?
So apparently they tested that one in South Africa, and that's the reason why they approved it with the FDA right now, is because it's been doing well where all the other ones have not been doing well. The single shot. So again, it sounds like it's the best one.
Wait, you're saying the double dose hasn't been working well?
Not in South Africa. To the new strains, like they're not working well with the reintroduced strains or whatever. But the new Johnson & Johnson one does it for all of them.
Goddamn baby oil manufacturers did it again.
Dude, no, they make everything.
Oh,
They
I know.
They make all the drugs you see.
Wait, yeah,
like
Bayer, Johnson & Johnson.
Let me look up what like a product list
So-
of Johnson & Johnson.
Do you have baby oil upstairs? Do you use it?
no, I don't use baby oil.
What do you use?
Like for what?
Lubrication.
Lubrication.
Lubrication, lube. If I'm gonna use it, but I
But
never
what are you
need it.
using the lube for?
If I'm gonna fuck her in the ass.
Oh, okay. So you use
But that's never. So it just sits there.
What do
gathering
babies
dust.
need baby oil for? Anybody ever thought about that?
It's
Like for the rashes?
I think it's just like a
Is it oil that smells like baby? Is that what
Yeah.
babies smell like?
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
entirely sure why.
There's like that
I
baby
imagine babies
powder.
get ashy, right?
Yeah, well, there's
But you don't put
it's an easy
oil-
way to moisturize your little baby.
and it's gentle. I think that's the thing. It's like
Oh, it's like a lighter oil.
yeah,
than other
it's
types.
mostly water. I would imagine.
Not to mention also babies got like, big fat arms and fat
Mm-hmm.
legs, and they're always like grinding against each other and shit like that. So you gotta
Yeah.
put like some oil
you
in
gotta
between
lube
there.
that baby up, dog.
Gotta grease that baby.
A lot of
You
people,
don't want a big, like,
a lot
fat
of people
chafing
use
baby?
baby oil as just like basically the soap or whatever. Like whenever they give their baby a bath, they'll just use baby oil to even clean the baby.
Yeah.
Does baby oil clean?
I have no clue, but I've seen it used like that. I mean, I've literally seen home videos of me as a baby, and just someone just put baby oil in their hand and then just use it to like rub me.
Why were
Shine
you
you up?
asking me
Yeah.
about baby oil? What do you use baby oil?
I don't have baby oil. I
We're
was just
talking
asking
about
you if you
Johnson
had it
and
upstairs.
Johnson
Like, what do you
Johnson
use? And you told us that you have like a freaking
Ass
dusty
lube. You got ass
butt
lube.
lube that you
Yeah.
don't use.
Yeah.
We're just talking about because baby oil. Sometimes I use it as elbow grease, right? If I'm ashy, I don't want to look ashy. I just put a little baby oil on my elbows. and
I
knees.
just cook some bacon and then
Just toss it off.
But see, lard
Yeah, put lard on
lard
your
attracts
arm.
other things. You know what I'm saying? You got dogs.
I say,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a zit on my elbow if I do that. I swear. Like,
fuck it.
You know what? What do people get zits anymore?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
I
What do you mean?
I
They
break
can't-
out like a
I think I
motherfucker.
have like a freaking zit like right here on my face,
see,
right
I've got
there.
I've got
Oh,
like two
sorry,
like
y'all,
on my
not
eyebrows.
perfect like me,
Yeah.
guys.
So we don't have flawless like self-cleaning skin. Like,
Well, I know I clean myself. I just take.
I got for the most part, I got good skin.
Yeah.
I can see that. I'm just asking, guys. Just we were talking about
my shit was fucked. I could use all the Johnson and Johnson cleaning shit that we could use all day long. It didn't matter. My face would still break out like crazy.
Yeah.
But I think mostly that shit is your diet, though. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
I
genetic,
remember-
too.
I remember in high school, like I ate like shit for a week. Right? Like I'm talking about candy and Wendy's and all that good
Yeah.
shit.
That
Then
is
the next
true.
week, bro.
Yeah.
The next week I was fucking ugly.
Yeah.
You know?
No, the reason I have this is because I ate like a few Oreos, like those white
Oh
Oreos.
yeah.
I had I know exactly what causes what on my face.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I know, like I see something come in, I was like, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like diarrhea.
I had exactly.
For you?
know exactly what the fuck caused this. It's like
Yeah.
you're over there cursing the toilet you're sitting on. You're like, no, it was.
I shouldn't have
was-
eaten a Taco Bell.
It was that bologna I had. Should have had that bologna.
Bologna. I don't. Yeah. Wait. How do you eat How do you eat bologna?
Well, I don't necessarily buy bologna, but if
I
I'm
don't
gonna-
either.
I'm saying, but if I'm gonna get bologna, it's probably free.
Yeah.
Right, and then I'm getting a free bologna thick cut sandwich with mustard and pickles.
Mustard and pickles.
Mustard
Okay.
and pickles.
I go mayo mustard.
Oh wow, that's your
All
dangerous man.
condiments are disgusting.
All
What?
condiments? You're not.
I swear.
You don't
No.
like.
What do you dip your chicken nuggets in?
Barbecue sauce.
That's a
That's
condiment.
a condiment,
Okay.
motherfucker.
Barbecue sauce is its own fucking class of condiments, especially
Hell
here
no.
in Memphis. You know,
Hell no,
no. Like mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, all
Buffalo
of that
sauce.
shit. So you can take all of those and you can combine some of them to make barbecue sauce.
Yeah. That's
Ketchup,
all.
ketchup
No,
and
again,
barbecue
it's
sauce
a different
seasoned
class,
with
not
sugar.
in just regular condiments. Fuck that
Sugar,
shit.
sugar and seasoning. That's what makes barbecue sauce special.
And ketchup.
Sugar and seasoning.
Yeah, it is what it is,
Get your
bro.
cayenne out of here.
I'm letting you know what it is.
High
dog.
fructose corn syrup.
Are y'all worried?
I'm getting the gluten-free rendezvous sauce. I'm
Are y'all
good.
worried about
yeah.
the? Look, I wrote Tango and Cash on the board.
Yeah.
Have you seen Tango and
the
Cash?
movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been
Tango.
trying to bring up all kinds of topics so we didn't have to talk about it. That's
didn't
why
try
we were
it.
talking
You
about.
didn't try
I
it. You
told
didn't
Tommy
try
to
hard.
talk about baby oil.
You didn't try hard. Because look, it was on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this is a legendary movie.
No.
Is it like a remake or you?
No,
No,
it's
the
real
original.
I think
Tango
Kurt
and Cash.
Russell's in it or something.
Kurt
Yeah.
Russell and
Kurt Russell.
and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
it's a
and
good-
yeah, Stallone plays a nerd.
exactly. It's a straight
Plays a nerd.
Don't act like you've seen it.
Right.
I've
Right.
seen it.
No, you haven't. You just told us we have. You don't lie on air.
I
What are
don't
you
watch
talking
movies.
about?
That's what he said right before this.
Exactly.
I don't watch movies.
No, and I told you, remember? And then I was like, oh wait, he's not really a nerd. He's just a good cop.
See, I've
Oh
seen.
my
I've seen.
gosh. He's like bold-faced lying to us right now. Oh my Jesus!
Maybe you've seen it the same way I have, like kind of like in splices, like when it's playing on TBS. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know I've
that's
definitely
how I know
always
all
seen
this.
it. You know, like
Well, I'm going to stop you right
I think
there.
we keep
He-
maxing out.
He hasn't seen it the same way you have. He hasn't seen it at all.
I'm trying to help him out.
No. I've seen it the same way you have, Dylan.
Yeah. Just jump on the
Everybody-
Dylan train.
everybody-
Yeah, that's
Hey,
me.
are we maxing out
Choo-choo.
on like when we laugh and talk? I feel like it's getting real staticky.
It was
Yeah.
just right there for a moment. but
Distorted.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
Thanks for killing.
You're welcome.
Thanks for killing the momentum.
Yeah, you really shit the bed right there,
Hey,
Jack.
go fuck yourself.
I will later.
Hey, what was your point with
my
Tango and
Johnson
Cash?
Johnson baby oil. Okay, yes, Tango.
What was the point?
Okay, well, I was watching it the other day, right?
Yeah.
I got nice and toasty after a comedy show, and was watching Tango and Cash. Now, what I miss about 80s action movies is like just the sheer amount of testosterone. This is why like movies like Fast and Furious are still going with the sequels, right? Because we don't have any variety of testosterone-filled movies anymore, right? Like we got a bodybuilder, and Kurt Russell is what the coolest dude with a mullet ever, right? He's out there kicking ass, taking names. They're cops. People hate cops, but we love these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why The Rock was like the highest paid actor for like 3 or 4 years in a row.
muscles.
Because people like that big, huge dude in movies. They like that look.
That high octane testosterone.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
There's a reason that those movies make $1 billion, and they don't really make them like they used to. Like in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, they always went to those places, and the 90s. They always went to those places that they
like
said
Vietnam
they were
or
in. Yeah.
whatever,
They would go there and make those, or find a place that looked exactly like it and go there. If they couldn't go to Vietnam, maybe they'd go to Costa Rica or something like that.
right? Something with a fucking jungle.
But now they'll just,
green screen that
they'll
bitch.
green screen, blue screen, whatever. So there's only a few companies that make it like they used to, and that's like Mission Impossible as Tom Cruise, and then the James Bond series. Because James Bond, they're world hopping in every single movie.
Yes.
Are you talking about Daniel Craig?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Yeah, any of them, they're going anywhere.
so,
And those movies cost a whole bunch of money, but they make all their money back, and those things like Fast and the Furious, they still do some of those stunts, but like there's that one where they're on the runway for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's just
There's a giant cargo plane fight.
Yeah, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And
I stopped watching after the heist. I couldn't do any more after that. I was like what are we doing now, guys? Like what is the Fast and Furious anymore?
Those movies went from like racing. They always had like little thievery in it, but just a straight up like, this is a team now. We got to steal something. We got to do something big.
No. At one point they started to save the world.
Yeah.
Is that what they were doing?
Yeah.
That's
They
right.
went from car thieves, right, to heists,
to
right,
now saving the world.
to now like what's my man's name? Jason Statham is trying
That's right.
to.
Jason Statham is now in the movie, by the way.
Right,
Jason Statham
is trying. Jason Statham. Oh no, was he the bad guy or the good guy at one point?
He was the bad guy at one point.
But then he became the good guy.
He flipped to the good guy, and now it's
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
No, wait. Something else in Hobbes.
No, it's
Calvin and Hobbes is
Hobbes and Shaw.
Yeah,
Hobbes and Shaw, right? And that was not bad.
Calvin and Hobbes, the high
Not bad. What you get from Lenny's, fool?
Buffalo chicken Philly.
Oh man,
Hey, nice.
I actually like their Italian sausage. They got a mean Italian sausage.
See, you're all about just whatever meat they can grind into another meat. Is that what you're just trying to do with
What do you
that and the bologna?
Oh nah, man. I like processed meats, bro. I like nitrates.
I love nitrates.
If I want to pick one thing to preserve my insides, all right, it's salt, it's sodium and nitrates. That's what I need. I love Italian sausage.
But yeah, like
Shit
those
makes my dick shrivel.
those movies, you're absolutely right. They've changed course and they pivot to what, like people want to see. And also each sequel has to escalate.
Oh, each
Yeah.
time. I'm waiting
Yeah.
on. Okay, look, like we know that girl power is a force right now, right? Like,
Yeah.
girl power is a force.
A failing force, by the way.
No,
They said at the box office, just saying, for clarity.
Okay, well, I'm not hating on you hoes. I'm just saying that I know y'all out there doing a good job.
I don't know if the movie's good.
clarification.
Like Bridesmaids was fucking hilarious.
Bridesmaid is a female-centric oriented movie. We're talking about like the Ghostbusters for women, you know?
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, come on.
I guess it's the same thing, but anyway, what's my point? Talking about nitrates.
Your dick shrivels when you eat them.
Tango and Cash.
Tango
Those
and
the
Cash.
movies, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are missing, I guess, the element of big, strong, muscular action hero, right? The Rock is our current dude right now, and I think, Tommy, if you hit the push-ups, bro, you and I could be action heroes, my G.
Let me tell you what I do. 'Cause I mean, it's not like I don't work out, but mostly I have a rowing machine that I use.
Okay.
That I get
a
on.
rower.
Yeah, I
They
used
say
to.
it's one
I
of the
used
best
to run.
workouts you can get.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
strong hip muscles, don't you?
I used to run,
core
but I
strength.
really hate running, so I quit doing that and started getting on this rowing machine. But to get a little bit of extra, after that, this is what I do, because you guys know I like to play video games.
Yes.
So after every match, after every game,
Yeah.
I do like 10 push-ups, literally after every match, win or lose.
I feel
Okay,
you.
so
do
you
like
might
10
you
push-ups.
might hit like 200 or 300 in a day.
So if I'm playing a lot,
Yeah.
usually I'll stop at like 150 because I'm like, that means I've played almost too much and like I'm just like, oh god.
Right. Well, that's only 15 games, win or lose.
Yeah, but the games I play,
We like you are like Call of Duty.
I like
Modern Warfare, the new one, the free one.
I like Overwatch. I like Apex Legends, and I'll play Warzone with my friends.
Warzone, right?
So those games, that's like,
So basically, you're
they
just chilling
can
in the
be-
lobby, just working out in the lobby or whatever?
yeah, as I'm
Okay,
waiting for
yeah.
it, I'll do like some push-ups. So those games can be like 20 minutes a piece, and then I'm doing push-ups. But if I'm losing,
Yeah.
if like Warzone or Apex, if you go in and then die immediately,
They shoot you back
and
in,
then
right?
yeah, then I'm immediately back on the floor again. And some days it's like I'm hitting 150 like in
an hour.
Yeah, in
Hell
an hour.
yeah,
I'm
bro.
like, good lord, I need to.
At that point, you're punishing yourself for your KD ratio.
Yes, and then normally I'm just like I'm stopping.
Rewarding
Like
yourself.
I don't want to, because I'm not going to not do push-ups. So I'd rather quit playing games
Yeah.
than
Make it
than-
just fuck it. I don't even want it anymore.
That's it. Yeah. Not only does it curb my like game playing. I love games. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Right.
But it can be a real time suck sometimes.
Right.
And not only will it curb that a little bit doing those push-ups, I'm getting a little bit healthier, and I can go on and do something else, maybe read a book or work on
So
a
you're
script.
gonna be like Bruce Willis, Die Hard type of, like a everyman type of body.
I guess that would be me if I was an
You're,
action hero. Yeah.
Woody Allen type.
Woody
of,
Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, the
Jew?
Okay,
See,
that's
yeah,
who you're
yeah,
talking
so
about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the white man can't jump.
Okay.
Right, yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Because I mean, or maybe you can go Matthew McConaughey type of action hero, right? Like you're
Okay.
just like
I see, I
like you're
think-
handsome is your weapon. It's not your muscles,
My
not your
handsome,
intellect.
yeah.
It's just like
I'm
it's
gonna do
like
Tom Selleck, my mustache.
Matthew
or
McConaughey
something.
was jacked in Failure to Launch.
Fairy launch. What is that?
It's
That was
a
when he was-
romantic comedy.
Yeah, he was, like,
I
trying to
love-
move out of
I
his
love
parents'
some
house or something.
rom-coms.
Yeah.
I really do.
I'm a fan of if I like rom-coms, but not like all of them. I only like When Harry Met Sally and the Will Smith one. That's
Oh,
it.
you guys want to
And
hear?
Hitch.
Speaking of When Harry Met Sally, you guys want to hear my dating strategy in college? This is what I would do.
Okay.
So,
Tommy had the bitches. I'm gonna let you know this right now.
whenever I would ask a girl out in college, we would go to Blockbuster. It was a thing back then, and we would
You have to
walk.
explain it to the
We
new
would walk
generation.
up and down Blockbuster because, like, my idea was like, yeah, you want to watch a movie? Let's rent a movie at Blockbuster. We can get like a pizza and we can go back to whoever's place because everybody's poor in college, and so doing that's a big
On
day.
paper. On
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we go to Blockbuster, and this was the first time like I had like a comedy set. Like I would walk up and down these aisles point at movies and make jokes about the covers or the actors or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I had done this enough to where like I knew exactly what I was doing, and then eventually we would get to When Harry Met Sally, and I would say, "This is a great movie. We should do this."
Yeah.
I watched When Harry Met Sally so many times in college.
Because hey, look, the movie good enough to watch over and over
Yeah,
again.
it's good enough to watch over and over again, and it's funny, and it's about relationships.
Right.
And then you start talking. The girl you're with starts talking like the main theme of the movie is like
girls and guys can be friends.
can girls and guys be friends?
Right,
you
right,
know,
right,
and
right.
so you get that kind of like conversation going, and eventually, if you want to be like a little playboy guy, you're like, well, I mean. Do you want to be friends? Like we could be more than friends right now, and then it goes into that. Like it's
Tommy rolls the dice. Boom.
and it's either yes or no. Like by that time, you guys have seen a movie, you've eaten, and either like she's had a good time, she can leave right now, or if but it's only like maybe like 8 o'clock, she can stay and do a little more if she wants to. Like there's no
she
pressure.
can stay and drain these nuts if she wants to.
And that.
Just suck my dick.
And so, like, legitimately, whenever Blockbuster died, I was sad.
Oh,
Yeah, damn.
Oh,
Game killing.
no, Tommy had a mean gap because he didn't have the Netflix and chill like we did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He had the Blockbuster and chill.
Yeah.
Well, he still got the card.
I'm
Did you
trying
get
to
your
see if I
Blockbuster
still have my
card?
Blockbuster card. I used to have it in here.
Good God.
I don't think I do.
It's an
now.
unhealthy wallet if you still got the Blockbuster card.
I think I put it up.
You got to cycle in them cards, my G.
I remember not
using them.
not being able to go to Blockbuster because everything there that we rented were like 1 or 2 days or something like that, and then they had like Hollywood Video where everything you would get was like 5-day rental. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like we would go to Blockbuster, we'd go to like see everything that was sold out or whatever, or we go to Hollywood Video, a little bit cheaper or whatever. You get it 5 days and like they've got everything there too.
I would
Those
buy
late fees, dog.
Oh yeah, it would fuck you, bro.
They have late fees.
Yeah.
Blockbuster does too though.
Blockbuster was murdering my parents.
Hell yeah.
Whoops, sorry, I lost it. I don't know.
I would go to Hollywood Video and buy my video games there. Like they had a pretty cool like, was it used video game section?
Yeah.
And, I was fiercely. My mom was like, she stopped buying me video games at a certain point, right? And if I wanted to get them, I had to.
Yeah, because how many video games do you think you like had at one point, like the most?
As a kid, I probably had like 40 or 50.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And-
Especially PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
but
PS1,
because that's when they
PS2.
were cheap.
Oh, yo.
That was $55 for a new video game back then.
No, that wasn't
it's
cheap.
cheaper than
But I was
that,
getting
yeah.
used games, right?
used.
I was getting used games, bro.
Well,
'cause-
from GameStop and shit.
yeah, because that's what GameStop had the fucking. That's when they had good reputation back then.
It was like $24.99 or
I
some
would,
shit.
I would go in there. One time, I'm gonna tell you this right now. One time, I had Marvel's Capcom #1,
Wow.
right, on PS1.
That's the game.
It was a fucking game. I'm a big fighting game dude, right? So I'm broke. I'm like 12, and I have a PS2 now. I know the game is worth something, but Marvel's Capcom 2 is out, and I want to get it. And what is it? $55. Mm-hmm. What am I gonna do? I go up to the dude. I was like, "Hey, can I sell this?" And the guy goes. He looks at it in the case, in the MVC1 case, and he's like, his eyes get wide. He's like, "Kid, they're gonna give you like $20 for this, but I will give you $30." Right? And I'm like, wow. The guy behind me was like, "What are you selling?" Marvel's Capcom 1 on PS1. He's like, "Fuck that, kid. I will give you $50 right now for that disc." And I'm like, and I looked at the dude behind the desk. I was like, "Can you beat that?" He's like, "You take that deal, kid." I was like, "All right." I, right there in the line, gave him the cash. He's like, "I was actually looking for this a week ago, and you brought it to me, kid. Thank you so much."
Wow.
And I had the money right then and there to get MVC2. I just
The
like,
universe.
Do you know how much that game probably costs now?
bro, thousands.
Let me see.
Literally,
Let me look it up.
so my PS1 games, my mom sent me a picture of a game that I have, Lunar 1, and then Lunar 2, Eternal Blue,
Yeah.
PlayStation 1. And she's like, "I'm going to throw these out if you don't get them next time you're home." And I was like, "Do not throw those out." And I sent her the eBay listings for those things. $500, $700
Whoa.
right now. These PlayStation 1 games that I
Yeah.
still have
Yeah.
were worth that much on eBay at the time.
Okay, now I see $130 from Marvel vs. Capcom used right now. That's the highest one that I see.
That's
Still 50 at $50. I think you still came out on top,
bro. Back
for most of these.
then.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Look up.
Those items also ebb and flow.
That's
like,
also a rare.
yeah.
It's a rare
Yeah.
game, bro.
Look up.
Because it was printed more on Dreamcast than it was on PS1.
Look up Lunar 2.
yeah, you got
Eternal Blue.
Gamecast. What the
on
fuck is
eBay.
that?
Dreamcast.
That was
Malibu's Most Wanted. Oh my
yeah.
god, that's one of my favorite scenes. I will watch comedy movies, but that is one of my favorite.
What's it called?
scenes.
What's that? Jamie Kennedy.
Holy shit.
Right?
Jamie
He's a
Kennedy.
weird like comedy.
Did I send
star.
you that? I didn't send you that. Dude,
Jamie
I was
Kennedy
wa-
experiment.
Yeah, he's a
show?
weird comedy dude.
I was watching his like Instagram today actually, and he had this sketch where he was the lifeguard at some pool, and it was packed.
How much is it?
What's those numbers? I can't
Lunar
see.
2 is $145 starting out.
That's pretty good.
Go to the one that's more than that's got all the stuff. Is that the box, the special box?
That's the complete edition. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the one.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one I got.
Yeah. That is fucking nuts, man.
Traffic, looking for my chapstick, kind of car sick. There's a Ford Maverick.
That's me when I freestyle rap.
I was like,
That's from a movie. Who was that?
That was Malibu's Most Wanted.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
It's
right.
fucking
that's
Jamie
right.
Kennedy and his
That's
weird
right.
ass comedy career. Like, if you could choose, it's like if someone's like, all right, do you want success? Yes. But you have to have Jamie Kennedy's comedy career.
That's basically the Cleveland show, right?
I would do that.
I was like, no, he's cool. Like he's like weirdly successful. Like he's
That dude's got money, dude.
That's what I'm
Malibu's
saying.
Most Wanted. Like that has to be
No.
like.
And well, again, he was a regular character on the Cleveland show, the same character as Malibu's Most Wanted too. Like he was on there as a regular, so he's got that Seth MacFarlane money too.
well, yeah, well, see, but
Yeah.
that's later. Like you were talking about, like he's just
So
kind
he was
of like,
SNL before that, right?
was he?
Was he not?
No, Jamie Kennedy's a weird. Like, how did he get famous? He was never like good enough to be.
Was he stand up?
He has told jokes.
No, he's a stand-up.
Is he a stand up?
Yeah,
like,
he's a stand-up,
first.
yeah.
He's stand up first. He's not actor first.
I don't know, but I know that the first time I saw him was in Scream. You know, he was in Scream.
Was he the-
Oh yeah,
singing brother?
he used to do a bunch of different like dramatic acting.
Yeah,
right?
he was kind of funny in Scream, but Scream is like kind of a little bit of a funny movie.
It's a
anyway.
tongue-in-cheek horror
Yeah,
movie, right?
yeah, it's a tongue-in-cheek horror movie. It's a horror movie about
Horror movies.
horror movie tropes. Yeah.
No. Apparently, he was in the Mask sequel, The Son of the Mask too,
Yeah.
which I didn't realize was a thing.
Yeah. So, Jamie Kennedy had the Jamie Kennedy Experiment, which
Right.
had an insanely crazy amount of sketches on there that he would do because
That's what I was talking about.
he would pull pranks and stuff on people.
Yeah, this was.
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
hilarious.
That was before
he had
Punk
the joint
too, right?
where he would deliver pizzas to people's houses. He had like one a crazy one where this dude chased him out of his house with a hammer or something. Like he just kept on ringing this man's doorbell, the same man every day, and delivered like more and more pizzas. Like, yo, you just pizza, and it'd be the same. He's like, get the fuck out of here! He just chased him down the driveway with a hammer. I was like. And like you were telling me yesterday, Tom, it's
Yeah.
like sometimes the real reaction is way better than the scripted one. You know,
Bro,
Yeah.
you're explaining the concept, and I'm laughing. You know, it's the whole thing
So
is funny. you
Jamie
know?
Kennedy
the
also had this
paradigm.
character that he would do, where he'd get in blackface and he'd pretend to be this black woman. And I'm telling you right now,
it's cancelable. It's cancelable.
Oh, absolutely. For
he is
now, yeah.
he's absolutely cancelable. And here's the worst part: it's not even funny. Like,
God.
if you see that now, you're like, oh my god, this is bad.
I
Like
see this. You said Jamie Kennedy in blackface. That's
Jamie Kennedy blackface. He plays
I at least
like
see a picture.
he plays like a big black woman who would serve stuff, who would pretend to be a cook or something like that.
Oh, okay. She was like a short order cook type.
I think so.
Blackface. There it is.
I think he also played a black judge too. It looks like.
That's horrible. Virginia makes a ham sandwich.
Right.
Virginia.
This is like 2002 or whatever it was, you know.
Oh my god.
The one that I saw, he was the lifeguard at this packed pool in this hotel, and he had what are those things called? The
Whistle or the megaphone?
megaphone. He had a megaphone, and he was
Okay.
like, "All right, the pool will be closed for 5 minutes. Everybody, please get out of the pool." I have to go on a restroom break. He gets down, walks in the pool, takes a piss, and then goes back up in front of everybody and goes, the pool's now open.
All right.
It was so fucking funny.
That's fucking brilliant, man.
Literally, like, Jamie Kennedy, because he did this blackface stuff,
Right.
like, I guarantee that he cannot do anything that makes him slightly famous anymore because as soon as it happens, somebody on Twitter is going to be posting those pictures.
He'll beat it.
Remember when Jamie Kennedy did this?
He'll beat it.
Yeah,
He'll beat it.
The only person
beat
that
it.
I've ever seen actually beat that, besides I guess like Justin fucking Trudeau in
Robert
Canada.
Downey Jr.
Oh, okay, well but he was playing the guy or whatever. But I was gonna say,
Still did it.
I mean,
Wait.
But so before
Everybody's
that,
playing a character when they do blackface.
Don't make excuses for blackface, Jackson.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
the only guy that actually would be cancelable, other than I guess Robert Downey Jr. for that, would be Jimmy Kimmel. Actually, he did one back in the
Malone.
early '90s. Yeah.
I've done blackface.
But he's still alive. Or still
I went as Flavor
kicking.
Flav when I was 10 for
wow.
Halloween.
Wow. Well, see,
Throw him in jail. Capital punishment.
Like being like, and here's the thing about blackface, right? It's that it's in bad taste because you can be the person without painting your face.
Yeah.
You could be Mr. T, put on the chains and get the mohawk.
Yeah, I know that now.
Yeah,
but
you
back then I thought it was hilarious.
I'm sure you did. I wanted to say this. You mentioned Justin Trudeau, right?
Yeah.
I saw a meme on the internet maybe 2 days ago that Justin Trudeau's real father is Fidel Castro. And if you find pictures, I'm gonna find the meme right now. But it's like they have like actual like. People can suggest anything on the internet and make your brain jump to a conclusion.
Say, get
But
your onion post out here.
Dude, no. Justin Trudeau's was born like in the early 70s, right? His mom visits Cuba the year before that, and there's a picture of her meeting Fidel Castro, and there's a news article that says they became great friends and very friendly. And then on the next slide of the meme, it was pictures of young Justin Trudeau and young Fidel Castro, and goddamn it, that's the same nigga, bruh. That's the same man, bruh. I'm telling you, fool.
I love your point about blackface. The reason it's dumb is because you can be the person without having to put on blackface.
Right.
And that is so amazingly true, because if you ever want to look at the opposite side of that, like any black person playing a character or becoming a character for whatever reason, they don't paint their face white.
No, they're not putting a bunch of white out on.
Yes, they do.
I mean, if you were looking,
Chappelle does as to make it
but
funny.
I'm talking about like before there was Miles Morales, there was a ton of black kids who would pretend to be Peter Parker and dress up as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But they didn't paint their faces white to be
Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
Right,
you know?
right.
They
Well,
would,
I guess you just put on a camera like kind of you.
I
right?
think it's personal. I think it's like personal humor. Like whatever you think is funniest for whatever you're doing, you're gonna do.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Scroll through that. I think I found it.
oh, okay.
Is that the Trudeau
December
Castro
23rd,
thing?
19. Wow.
Let me see that after.
Yeah, here you go.
Is that the
Does look
Canadian
similar.
Canadian Prime Minister. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
the same.
Yeah,
fat,
the
bro.
bottom one kind of. Just it's the mustache. That's what it is. It's the fucking mustache.
I don't know if the mustache. Like, if I saw a baby with a mustache, I wouldn't think Tommy is the father.
I think it's the top one.
You see that? Everyone has a
The
picture.
top one. The top one looks. It's the eye spacing and shit.
I mean, the eyes a little
Look,
bit,
it's
but
either Photoshop. Either someone has a really good joke with Photoshop, which I applaud.
Yeah,
them.
they're able
Just
to
a small,
manipulate it just
slight
enough.
enough so you're like, your eyes are falling into it.
yeah.
Like
The one in the middle, I'm just like, no, not at all.
these
It's
are all
because the
old-
noses look different,
right
from that
he
angle.
has that fucking different.
Maybe he's got his mama's nose.
Right, you got a Jewish nose. Got the Trudeau nose, man. You got the Castro.
Is Trudeau
handsomeness, right?
a Jewish name?
I have no idea.
I didn't know he was Jewish.
If it sounds weird, I just attribute it to Judaism. If it's not like
Sadly, you're 75% accurate.
If it
doing
sounds
that.
weird, I attribute it to Judaism.
if it's Ibn Salam Muhammad, then I'm like, okay, he might be.
What about
might be a
Assalamu
Salam.
alaikum? What?
Salam Muhammad.
He might be. you know, he might be
That's
a
so
Muslim.
funny.
He might be a Muslim.
Still Jew derivative though.
My name's Ik bin Salam Muhammad.
What's first? Is Judaism first? Then Islam?
Yep.
Damn.
Islam came last afterwards. I think Islam actually mentions Jesus somewhere in it.
Yeah, actually, I had a conversation about this
Crazy.
with my Muslim friend, and in the Quran they call Jesus the Son of God, but the translation is the S-U-N, like the light of God. Like he's a prophet in Christianity, but he's not considered.
That makes sense. The whole quote, "I am the way" bullshit.
Right, and so
I say bullshit. Sorry to offend.
yeah,
Not really.
No Muslims out there. Do not bomb Jackson's house at.
Hey,
No, I was talking about Christians.
Do not domestic terrorist Jackson's house at 1735.
don't even yeah.
Let's not.
Say some random house in the hood. That's nice.
1735 was my old address. 1735 Forest Avenue.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, word. I was 1411 Forest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You get it?
yeah. Someone could steal my identity right now. Fuck.
In Knoxville?
Yeah. I lived on Forest Avenue as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fucking.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It is. Anyway.
I mean, anytime I think about how long me and John have known each other, I'm like, dang, really?
Bro, I was 19 when I met you, man. 19. I was trying to figure out.
Are y'all like the longest that y'all have known each other like in the Memphis comedy scene? You think?
Probably.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Like you and Tommy have known each other from a different city that both of y'all lived in, and then y'all ended up in Memphis.
Did you know? I mean, I don't know how long you knew Angela Garoni, because I've known Angela Garoni same time as I've known you.
Yeah, but I met Angela later. I met you
Okay.
first. Angela's not. She's not going hard at stand up. So
Yeah.
I'd see her randomly. You know, I probably met Angela when I was like 21, when I was actually going out to the bars to do stand up.
Yeah.
You know. 'Cause-
Where have you been at, Tommy?
What do you mean?
Like,
Oh, yeah. I've been finishing a script. I had
you
like
said.
yeah.
I had like an epiphany on how to finish this thing and how to put it together.
You're
And
talking about the animal one. You're talking about
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
so I just been sprinting straight through that, and I finished it like recently.
oh yeah,
And Haley read it today, and so she gave me some feedback on it.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Said it's dog
nice.
shit. Start over.
I read.
Yeah,
I,
that's the script that won me an award, and I completely redid it entirely.
Oh, so you didn't go with your gut, and it's gonna be trash now.
no. What if he did go with this guy,
I'm just fucking with him.
and it's gonna be a hit?
I like
Yeah.
the pothole sketch that y'all did. I thought that was funny.
Oh, thanks. He called me. I have nothing to do with it. I'm literally just acting. Like I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
I know you have no talent. I know he's the talent.
But I'll get the big bucks. Remember that.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I mean,
yeah.
I had this idea about wanting a pothole to like eat
Now-
someone up.
Let me ask you this: why did you choose John Miller to play that role?
He had whenever I thought of it, I thought of John. Usually, whenever I think of a sketch, there's someone immediately who comes into my brain as to be that person.
Yeah.
Right,
that's there.
Mm-hmm.
And that time it was John.
I'm
Why, you
mostly-
wanted to be in it?
No,
Dude, I'm mostly the straight man in all your stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like besides the last one I did was Kobe, right?
Yeah,
One
you were
before-
Ghost Kobe.
One before that, I was we were dealing with Jared dying.
Jared dying,
Right,
farting himself to death.
That's the one that I remember seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was
the
pretty
snow, the one that you did with your girlfriend, where you just did one-liners or whatever about
Yeah.
the snow. That was and all the dumb shit that people say. I thought that was funny too.
Yeah, she gave me like half those lines.
Let me ask you.
I said so many different things.
Yeah.
I had it's like, a 5-minute long video.
Yeah.
And then I cut it down to like whatever 30 seconds. And half those 30 seconds were stuff she said over my shoulder that I did. So it was like her.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool as fuck, man.
Okay.
Haley's very funny.
She's pretty snappy.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
very funny.
It's hard to say about women sometimes, but
What, women have talent? That's hard to say, John?
yes.
Make it easy.
It's hard to say because John has no talent.
I am the most talented person here.
wait till they come in on this podcast that you guys will do with them, and this like you'll probably feel a little bit talentless in some ways.
I'm looking forward to it.
I always feel talented.
I don't think that shit
crazy.
up. Do you think logistically it'd be better for us to be a guest on their podcast or for them to be a guest on ours? Because I think
We could do both. Why don't you do both?
Well, no. I know we decided that she and I decided that we exchanged hostages basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I just want to see. I haven't been a guest on someone else's podcast besides like bullshit ones, right?
Nathan Jackson.
Yeah, you were on mine too, quite a bit.
Oh, you're talking about right
Yeah,
episode.
the Let's
right,
Create an
yeah.
Episode thing.
Yeah.
That was funny as hell too.
COVID killed that.
COVID.
Is that what you're claiming?
COVID killed a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm claiming it. But yeah,
And so
yeah,
you
were a
should
guest on mine.
have had a pod version.
Do you
of
think?
It.
Do you think that? Okay, look. When dudes say women aren't funny, do you think that it's like is it like a stereotype that we're just like purporting, or
So, yeah, I think.
or is it facts?
I don't think. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think women aren't funny.
Yeah, I don't think it's facts. I mean,
Like, I don't hear a lot of people saying that. To be completely honest with you,
Well,
there's a lot of female.
We don't
comedians
hang out in
there, man.
misogynistic circles like you, John.
right. I fucking women hate dens that I run.
I mean, I
Smack a
remember.
bitch clubs.
I remember in college hearing that a lot. That I remember hanging out with some guys that did not want to see movies that had women in the lead role because,
Right.
like, why would I want to watch that? It's not me. And I was like, what? Like, because I was trying to, I was specifically trying to get someone to watch The Quick and the Dead. And Sharon Stone is like the lead in that, and it's a very awesome like Western movie.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
And yeah, Sam Raimi directs it. It's really good. He did the Spider-Man movies.
Right.
Okay.
And
Which ones?
the
first
one,
ones?
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So he's
I
2
hate
out of
that
3.
one.
He's
Yeah.
2 out of 3 for movies.
I just
right
hate Tobey Maguire.
there. Yeah, he's a very punchable
Yeah.
dude.
Just
Yeah.
him and something about him and being Spider-Man just annoys me.
You just, especially looking at the way that Andrew Garfield did it, and then you look back at Tobey Maguire, it's just like.
Well,
come
I
on,
never
man.
watched the Andrew Garfield one because I was I hated it
You
so
had
much
such
when
distaste
I
for it.
I was like, I
Toby.
can't do this.
Yeah,
shit anymore.
I remember trying to get someone to watch The Quick and the Dead, and they were like, I don't like watching movies. And I remember hearing like, women aren't funny. I haven't heard it in a long time. Like,
Yeah.
Someone actually say it and mean it and not like say it like
Yeah.
jokingly. But yeah, like I definitely don't think that's true. We all know like Casey and
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Casey Shornima and
la-
Judy.
last-
Judy's definitely freaking killed.
Last
few
night,
times.
Yeah.
I hosted a show with 2 funny women from Nashville. I mean, from Atlanta. So I'm not just saying that as I'm really saying it as a joke, but I have met a lot of.
He's covering his ass now.
I really met a lot of women. I really met a lot of women who think they are funny and they're not as funny as they think they are.
Yeah, but how many
I mean-
people are that way?
Yeah, we've met a lot of
Yeah.
men like
Yeah,
that.
right,
Like,
right.
Yeah,
holy
that's
crap.
just people in general.
That's 90%
I'd
of
say
any comedy scene.
90% of anyone standing up, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I think though a comedy scene is like anything else. The cream rises to the top, right?
Yeah.
And there's this concept that I've heard that I probably attach myself to. It's pretty cool. I like it. The talent don't exist until you get to the professional level, right? Like, because it's hard work that has to get you there. Like, man, talent. Folks might tell you have talent, but that's just a way for you to keep on working. Keep on working. Because when you get to like, I don't know, the NBA, right? That's when you see the superstars play out. Because everybody on all those teams are good. Everybody's a professional,
Yeah.
quote unquote. But
Yeah.
the talent shows up where, it's a little 10% difference. Everybody else giving 90, but you're giving 100.
Yeah. In my brain, I see it like it's the same thing, but I don't call it talent at that level. It's like, because then your talent gets honed into like skill. And it's kind of like what differentiates you from someone who has talent to someone who knows what to do with their talent and make like specific
Conscious
decisions to move their talent in a certain way. Like for example, like I love Alec Baldwin
Yeah, he's a great actor.
as an actor. I think he's insanely like skilled, because he knows exactly like what he's talented at. Like he can do accents, he can do all this, and he knows where to put it and how to use it in.
Oh, you saying that he chose to deploy his talent?
Yeah.
So skillfully that it makes him great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some people that are just so good at what they do. It makes you just like appreciate like their skill and talent at whatever they're doing. And a few actors like that for me are Alec Baldwin and Ed Asner. And
who's Ed Asner?
He's an old guy. He did the voice on Up, but he was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, okay.
And he was in a few episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's just insanely.
That's one of my favorite shows. Curb.
Yeah, he's just insanely funny and good. And then there's comedians like Bonnie McFarlane and Gary Goldman.
Yeah.
Who just work and work and work, and they have used like their work ethic to become like, I think they're like actual comedic geniuses, but they got there through just writing and writing and writing and working and working and working. And there's people like Eddie Murphy who are like 22 years old and do that special, just come out geniuses. They're just like, boom, I'm a genius. Here I am. And then the people like Bonnie McFarlane and Gary Goldman, who are only reached that level like in their late 40s. Yeah. And that's more realistic for all of us, because I see them and I'm like, okay, they know exactly what they're good at, and they're just working on that moment just to hone these skills and talents over and over and over again, listening, just doing the work. And then you see their specials or see their stand-up and you're like, that's insane what they can do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's all just from work, and that's what I like aspire to have, this same sort of work ethic.
I think it's like honestly like managing a project, right? So like obviously I'm in construction, and it's like there becomes a point to where like you're seeing stuff before it happens. And you're avoiding it. I think a lot of those people have just been doing this shit, so they know what not to do.
Yeah,
right.
But the avoiding of the pitfalls and doing the right things at the right times are two different like skill sets. Because one could be conservative in their actions and there's the development of their skills, and essentially avoid the pitfalls that other people might fall into, right? And then there are other people who, like you said with your Eddie Murphy example, Tommy, where just out the gate, combination of their work ethic and their quote unquote talent pushes them to the forefront, that allows them to be seen and garner success that others want, right? Now, I think that like the dichotomies you presented, right? Like the immediate success and like the turtle that wins the race eventually, that works, that keeps on working, trotting ahead. I think that some people are victims of their what type of people they are, and the talents and skills that they might possess, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Gary Goldman is amazing. He's an amazing writer and he's a good stand-up, right? But because he suffers from crippling depression or some shit, he couldn't deploy those the best way, and so now he now has to regulate his work ethic to only writing, because the things that he could have actually been amazing at he can't do because of his ailments, right? So it's like, all right, it's cool that he's gotten some success because of his work ethic, but I think it's a shame that he's not more famous or more working, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of
I understand that, and I get that. But whenever I look at that, I wonder what they feel. Like, I know you're like, man, it's a shame that he's not doing as much, but if he is happy with where he's at because of what he has to deal with, then I'm happy for him. Right. Because they're like, that depression and anxiety is no joke. Those people, that's tough on everyone around them. And to stick around through that and to be there for that person and see them like succeed in the way that they can is still insane. Now, yes, if he didn't have that, it is a shame that he has that because he could be, much more. And you're absolutely right. But the other side of the coin too is he's happy where he's at. So
Right.
good for
If it's
him.
hard for him to wake up out of the bed that morning, you know, I'm sure he's happy just to get to the fridge, much less get famous.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I ain't suffering from no thing either, so I couldn't tell you. I don't really personally subscribe to the thing that depression is like a true thing.
Really?
Well, I mean, because think right here, with Gary Goldman, right? Through his work ethic, he has pulled himself out of not only I watched his special that kind of details what he goes through, right? And so it's like through him working and getting success, it allows him to pay for whatever he needs to be okay, right? To be well.
Right.
Now, and through that, it's like a positive feedback loop because he takes his medicine, he can work, and because he can work, he can eat and keep on getting his medicine, right? Well, it's probably retarded for me to say, but I just I wish my man would not be depressed and go run a mile or something. You know what I'm saying? Go get some bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Why can't his brain just work?
Right,
You
right.
know?
It's like I know because it's you ain't making this up, dog.
Yeah, I don't think that's stupid of you to say at all.
Because
To a certain extent, it kind of is though, because at the same time, we're also saying, well, why can't we just end racism?
Yeah, but to want better, I don't think is.
No, I'll be
stupid.
yeah. I mean, it's positive thinking, it's forward thinking for sure. But you can't just kill depression like that because it's a mental illness.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't. What?
Fuck me is what.
Yeah, well, look.
No, I was saying I think why you think that way is because so many people use it, especially now.
Right.
Everybody's depressed.
Yeah.
Everybody's got anxiety.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. Some people are just pussies about everything, and some people legitimately have it.
And it's hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that 100% because some people are buttholes, and then some people are buttholes and have depression. And so
Some people just have depression.
yeah, and so there's you just because you have depression doesn't mean that you're not an awful human being as well.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have it and then be all poo poo and pee pee about yourself and
About you murdering people.
I would say, look, Kanye West about to lose Kim Kardashian because he's bipolar and depressed.
Well, I'm not gonna talk about their relationship, but I wouldn't.
He's crazy. You don't have to talk about the relationship.
I don't
to say
think
that.
Kanye's that crazy though.
Yeah, I don't believe I don't believe the man's crazy, and then B, the reason it. I would say it's.
Let me pause. I have to pee. Where's your bathroom?
Upstairs.
Okay. Now go on.
I don't believe it's the reason why someone would leave. Well, I don't know. We just talked about this earlier, right?
Yeah, I definitely think
someone's mental state will drive you away from people.
Yeah, because some people I look at I won't name my family member, but there are some people that are so overtly negative all the fucking time, and you can call that depression and you can call that anxiety, but when they choose to be negative every time, eventually you go, fuck this. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to be around you because everything you do is negative.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no positive outlook or anything.
That's that.
Some people are just like that.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
that favorite word that folks use right now is toxic. And I think how people, like you said, people using depression thrown around so much. People are trying to find a scapegoat for their problems.
Right.
Right. And if it could, and like you said, real depression and fake depression look the same, right? A motherfucker could be unmotivated and someone could be crippling dealing with depression, and I from the outside looking in couldn't tell a difference.
Right.
Right. And so this is where I'd be like, I can't give credence to every boy that cries wolf about depression, right? Because some of y'all boys crying wolf. But then it's gonna be the one time where wolf's really there you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm dealing with something. I could be, and it's happened before. You know, I could be insensitive to someone who's actually depressed, or someone's dealing with some real shit that I had no context of, and they're putting on a brave face, and then they say, you know, me and my gung hungness, right? Is like they'd be like, man, I'm really depressed. I'm like, man, whatever, my nigga, you know, shake that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the reason why I bring it up, and the reason why I specifically mentioned Kanye, is because, again, like I've been diagnosed with manic depression. So
right.
I've had bipolar. So I see what he does, and I relate it to my own self and how I react and how I like interpret things throughout my life, you know? And I see it and I verify it. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I see why he's acting the way he is, because he's writing it out, you know?
So, but bipolarism is like one of those things where you feel really good or feel really bad.
You essentially get locked into an emotion and you can't escape it.
Yeah, you get into a feedback loop. You get into a thought loop. Like I don't know if that's bipolar, but like I know like if I'm
it's a part of it, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's a locking in on a certain wavelength of thought. That spirals you down. It's never positive, obviously.
Circular thinking.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of that actually, because again, like that is like a symptom of that, but some of that can get into intrusive thoughts, and some of that can get into OCD. There's a lot of people that really, really like go into a lot of terrible depression because their mind is playing tricks on them and they can't stop it. Mm-hmm. You know.
I can believe
so
that.
But that's something that like you can't say, wake up and be happy, motherfucker, you know? Because like their brain's like, no, I'm not happy and I'm not going to be happy, you know?
Well, I feel that, like, I had one of my cousins tell me that he was maybe depressed or whatever, and I was like, man, bro, when was the last time you was outside playing basketball, or you know what I'm saying? Like, or you made a good steak or hung out with your granddaddy or some shit, like do some happy shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because like life is hard, my G.
It is a choice to stay indoors, and like people that say like, you know, depression may not be a choice, right? But what you choose, if you know you have depression, like
fight it.
You
actively fight it. Don't wallow in
try.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because if you can say you have depression, then
you can also take your ass outside in the sun and walk your dog. You feel what I'm saying?
I will say that when you're at one of those peak manic states, though, and you try to do one of those things that supposedly would make you happy, and it doesn't, you know, and again, you're in like one of the most shitty states you could possibly be in, and like let me just do this one thing that always makes me happy, and it doesn't, and you're demoralized entirely again, you know?
Yeah, they can go out and do that, and then the next time they're only like slightly like kind of having a bad day,
right?
And you want to cheer them up. They remember the time it didn't work,
right?
And then it sends them down,
right?
So, yeah, it
makes you want to shake your head.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Imagine being in that person's brain.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
as a person that doesn't have it, who's in a relationship with that person or knows that person, that's what you do, and that's what makes them like
even more depressed.
Yeah, that's what makes them frustrated.
Right, because they can't talk to you about it.
So yeah, because you do that, you go like, oh God.
Yeah. Right, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you ain't listening. But they can't listen because they're depressed.
And then you doing
they
that,
are listening.
but you're not listening. I'm trying to help you, but you're not listening. Then that makes them even more sad on themselves.
Right.
So it's like you don't want to like have like kid gloves with them or anything. But on some days, you really got to treat them like they're a precious petal. And then
or just step back.
If you can't do that, you gotta extricate yourself. You gotta get out of there and let them
deal with it.
Let them deal.
You do?
Yeah. Let them cope with the best way they can. Like it's having, you know, being with someone like that is a long like learning process, and a lot of people are not cut out with being with someone like that. Like me, I am not. I know that, but
that's real. I know I ain't. Look,
yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
I feel like I am that person.
I feel like as you know, at some point in your life, you feel like you can be that person, and then you may get with that person, and they can be like incredible in so many other ways. Like, you know, they can be really funny, extremely pretty, smart, but there's this thing that's always there.
Boy, when I tell you what, you just said the truth, because here's that joke that I think every dude has in his fucking back pocket, that well, I used to say all the time that God made no thing perfect, right? And if you see a woman that's dressed to the nines, bad as hell, got manners, she's a fucking equestrian and a solo violinist, right? The bitch got bad teeth or bad breath or something, right? And it's like, oh, her mind's broken or something.
Stank ass feet,
right? Something. Her feet are humongous. Like, that's why she was a great equestrian. Like, we don't, we don't know.
Flopping around like a horse herself,
right? So, you know, if you can, in getting older and trying to be more mature about the way I deal with other people, right? Because I used to I still will attack the thing that I do not like, right? Verbally and or physically, right? Like, fix your depression. Like, try to help you. You know?
You're using the 90s testosterone mentality.
Right, you know, and I'm like, just like, snap out of it, goddammit. I want to see you better. I love you.
Yeah.
None of that shit works.
No.
Because how I view the world is not, and this my mom was telling me this shit as a young boy, and I still fight it. But the world, it's not the world according to John Miller. Yeah, it's not, right? But people like to subscribe to their own bullshit. Like, there's something that I listened to. I was watching bodybuilding videos one time, right? Like, dude named Dorian Yates, like a motivational clip thing, and it was like a 30-second part where somebody said, it's like 90% of people don't look like this because 90% of people don't believe they can look like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't believe they can be the greatest thing ever.
Like
right?
a P90X guy or something, or
nah, Dorian Yates is like one of the all-time champions of bodybuilding, right?
Oh,
like,
okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, and he's really like he's a pretty cool listen if you listen to an interview of him or whatever, right? He's a pretty smart guy, but it's something to deal with, like the capacity of your mind to make life around you a living hell or paradise is a motherfucker. Yeah, you know. Wrap up. Okay, bet that. And I'm gonna end on a very poignant note. And if you choose to see your life as a living hell, then maybe it really is. John Miller, Trudeau podcast.
That being said, hang on one sec, Tommy. Go ahead and give out your socials real quick. Anything else you're working on right now? Appreciate you having on here. Or appreciate having you on here.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram,
Boo.
Facebook. Where else? Oh,
TikTok.
I'm on TikTok now. Yeah. I'm on that Chinese TikTok. Yeah.
Hell yeah. He said we got to hop on it. He said it works, bro.
It's everything.
I'm on it too.
It's at Tommy Oler.
Okay.
TOMMYOLER.
You about coming back to be a guest some other time, man?
Sure.
There you go. See, people, I've never asked a question.
His voice went higher, so he's lying.
Right. Yeah, it's all right. She's all right, I guess.
Yes. All right.
Yes. I will gladly come back to your show.
Absolutely.
I will gladly come back to your show.